You know that feeling, right? That sudden, like, aggressive muscle spasm. The one that hits you at maybe 3 a.m., like some demanding, uninvited yoga instructor who just wants you to hold a cramp pose.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe it's that annoying eye twitch. You know, the one that feels like your eyelid is doing this frantic little tap dance during, like, a really serious meeting.
Exactly. We all just kind of casually brush those off. Think, it's just stress, or maybe I need a banana or something.
Right. But what we're seeing is that these little annoyances, they're often actually high-priority clues, like flashing neon signs pointing to this deep, fundamental deficit that most people are completely missing.
And that's what we're diving into today. This one single mineral. It's absolutely essential for, well, pretty much every system in your body, you know, your heart rhythm, your sleep.
Everything. Yet over half the population is making this huge, potentially really serious mistake about it.
And the craziest part, you actually can't trust your doctor's standard blood test to even flag this deficiency. It's wild.
That's the mission for this deep dive. We need to uncover the truth about magnesium and really understand why the usual medical screening is, well, it's giving us what we call the Great Deception.
The Great Deception. I like that.
And figure out what simple, visible clues you should be watching for instead. Because waiting for that test result, it'll probably just lie to you anyway.
Okay, let's unpack this right now. Why? Why is the standard test giving us this, like, deceptive high five? Why does it trick us into thinking everything's okay?
Well, it really comes down to some basic biological bookkeeping, I guess.
Yeah.
Only about maybe 1% of all the magnesium in your entire body is actually floating around in your blood.
Wait, 1%? That seems tiny, like an astronomically small amount to base a health decision on.
Precisely. The other 99%, it's locked away deep inside your cells,
Yeah.
mostly in your bones and your soft tissues.
99% inside the cells.
So when your body starts running low on that essential 99% inside the cells, it knows this mineral is absolutely critical for, like, immediate survival.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for controlling your heart rhythm, your nerves.
Right, the really important stuff.
Yeah. So the body kicks off this kind of ruthless emergency response. It actively robs magnesium from those storage sites, your bones, your muscles, and it pumps it into the blood just to keep those critical functions running.
Wow. So the body is basically emptying out its strategic reserves, like draining the spare change jar, and then looking at the blood, which is like the wallet, and claiming it's still full because it's being refilled by, well, theft.
That is the perfect analogy, seriously. This incredible mechanism of cellular theft creates the illusion of normal, or maybe borderline normal, levels on that blood test.
So the test pats you on the back.
Right. It assures you you're fine, even while your long-term health, your bone density, your muscle structure are all quietly suffering because the body's making this sacrifice.
That really puts the urgency into perspective, doesn't it? Our body's designed to sacrifice long-term structure just to keep the heart beating today.
Pretty much, yes.
So, okay, if the blood tests are unreliable, we have to rely on those body signals then. What are the common symptoms, the things we should actually be watching for?
Well, since magnesium is basically the master regulator of muscle tension, the main signals are going to be muscle-related.
Makes sense.
So if you're getting any muscle spasms, and I mean anywhere, including that twitchy eyelid we talked about, that's a huge red flag.
Okay.
Other classic signs are those really painful, involuntary leg spasms. People call them Charlie horses, or just severe muscle cramps in general.
Got it. Muscle stuff. Anything else?
Yeah, beyond muscle, watch for things like increasing anxiety, maybe poor sleep quality, and, strangely enough, intense sugar cravings.
Sugar cravings? Hold on. Why would a mineral deficiency make you want a donut? That seems completely random.
It sounds random, I know. But magnesium is heavily involved in regulating your blood sugar and insulin sensitivity. So when you're low on magnesium, your blood sugar regulation gets kind of shaky. That can lead to crashes and cravings as your body's desperately trying to stabilize things. It's all sort of connected chaos.
Connected chaos. I like that too. Okay, let's talk logistics. How much do we actually need? The typical daily requirement is around 400 milligrams, right?
Yep, about 400 milligrams, which doesn't sound like a crazy amount.
No, not really.
Until you realize what it takes to get that from food.
Oh boy, here we go.
It basically requires a full chewing marathon, unfortunately. Like, if you wanted to get your 400 milligrams just from almonds, you'd need to eat 5 full cups of almonds every single day.
5 CUPS of almonds. That's not food. That's a punishment. My jaw hurts just thinking about it.
Right. You'd definitely be magnesium replete, but you might need dental surgery afterwards.
Seriously. Okay, what about spinach? That's always touted as healthy.
Spinach is better, but still.
Yeah.
You're looking at 5 large, packed handfuls of raw spinach daily.
5 handfuls. That's a lot of salad.
It is. And even dark chocolate, which we all love hearing, is healthy. It is relatively high. But you'd still need about 4 full-size bars of dark chocolate just to hit that baseline daily amount.
Sure, chocolate bars.
Okay, now you're tempting me. But still, that's not exactly sustainable.
Exactly. Trying to correct a real deficiency through diet alone, it's nearly impossible for most people.
Okay, so we can't just eat 5 cups of almonds. I get it.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets, like, really interesting, right? Even if we somehow manage to eat perfectly, there are things in our modern lives actively stopping us from absorbing the magnesium we do get, or just straight up depleting it.
Absolutely. We're facing this sort of dual attack, absorption blockers and depletion factors.
Okay, break that down. Absorption blockers first.
So on the absorption side, if you have any kind of chronic gut inflammation, which is super common these days, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That inflammation can slash your magnesium absorption rates by like 60%, even 70% in some cases. Your gut basically acts like this massive handicap. 60 to 70% reduction.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and then the active thieves. The things we actually consume that kick magnesium out.
Yep. The usual suspects, the classic depleters, grains, pretty much all refined foods like sugar and starches.
Yeah.
High alcohol consumption,
Oh.
caffeine, and this is a big one, many common medications.
So wait, if I managed to eat that big handful of spinach,
Yeah.
but then I followed up with like a sugary latte.
That coffee and sugar basically just hit the emergency eject button on the magnesium you just took in.
You're kidding.
Nope. You're pretty much consistently finishing the day with less magnesium than you started with, even if you ate healthy magnesium sources.
This poor mineral, it sounds like the most popular yet most persecuted mineral in the entire body.
That's a good way to put it.
So this brings us to its really critical function then. We need to shift focus here. It's the cellular master controller, especially over calcium. We usually just think calcium, bones.
Right, but calcium is way more than just bones. It's like the cell's main communication signal.
Okay.
It's used for everything from firing nerves to making muscles work.
Okay.
And this is where that magnesium-calcium balance becomes, like life and death, important.
Give us the simile. You had a good one earlier.
Okay, think of it like this. Calcium is the demanding boss in the cellular office. It yells the orders, right? It causes muscle contraction, makes signals fire.
Got it. Demanding boss.
Magnesium, though, is the overworked assistant, the one who's supposed to step in and say, hey, boss, take a break. Magnesium causes muscle relaxation.
Okay.
So if you have low magnesium, that assistant is missing. And the demanding boss in calcium just keeps yelling. There's nothing telling the muscles to chill out, to relax.
And that leads to the tightness, the spasms, the
Ah.
cramps we talked about, because
Right.
the relax signal is just gone.
Exactly. But the implications of that imbalance, they sound far more serious than just, a leg cramp.
They absolutely are. When magnesium is low, that excess calcium doesn't just make muscles tight. It starts to accumulate inside the cells where it shouldn't be.
Okay. It can form these microscopic crystals. And that process, that's calcification. Now, we need calcium in our bone. That's good calcification. But when those crystals form in soft tissues like arteries or internal organs, that's bad calcification. And it basically accelerates aging and disease.
Wow. Okay, I've heard a lot about vitamin K2 recently, about how it helps prevent calcium buildup in arteries. How does magnesium fit into that picture? Is it related?
It's definitely related. Vitamin K2 is helpful, yeah, for sort of redirecting calcium to the right places like bones. But the sources really emphasize that magnesium is even more important.
More important than K2.
Because it's the primary regulator of overall excess calcium inside the cell to begin with. It's like the first line of defense. Without enough magnesium, that demanding calcium boss just runs wild, even if K2 is trying to clean up afterwards.
So magnesium controls calcium before it even becomes a problem in the arteries.
In large part, yes, which is why magnesium is so crucial for things like regulating heart rhythm. It's actually used as a long-term therapy sometimes for correcting issues like atrial fibrillation. That takes consistent high dosing over many months. It's not a quick fix.
Okay, this is huge. Let's jump to the surprising secrets then.
Yeah.
The things maybe nobody talks about that help explain why this deficiency is just so incredibly widespread.
Right. Secret number 1, the hard water mistake.
Hard water, like water with lots of minerals.
Exactly. For centuries, humans got a pretty significant amount of natural magnesium just from drinking hard water, from springs, wells, certain public water supplies.
Okay, makes sense. So what's the mistake?
The mistake is modern water softeners, which we use pretty much globally now. They're specifically designed to remove calcium and magnesium from the water.
Wait, they take out the good minerals. Why?
To protect the plumbing and make soap work better, give you fluffier towels. They usually replace the calcium and magnesium with sodium, sometimes potassium.
You cannot be serious. We engineered away a vital nutrient for the sake of shinier pipes and softer laundry.
We absolutely did. We basically sacrificed the key aspect of our health for domestic convenience.
That's kind of mind-blowing. Is there evidence for this?
There is. The connection is startling, actually. In parts of the world, and even certain areas within countries that don't soften their water, the incidence of heart attacks is noticeably lower.
Wow.
And think about it, if you're drinking mostly filtered water or bottled water, a lot of those processes also strip the minerals out. So you're often replicating that softener effect anyway.
Okay, that is a profound and kind of depressing unintended consequence of modern life. What's secret number 2?
Secret number 2, the codependency clause.
Codependency? Sounds like a relationship issue.
Huh. Well, it kind of is, chemically speaking. Magnesium isn't a solo actor. It's the essential cofactor, the helper molecule, for other really key nutrients to even work.
Like what?
Big example, vitamin D. If you're taking high doses of vitamin D trying to boost your immune system,
Right. Yeah, lots of people do that.
but you're deficient in magnesium, you are pretty much wasting your money.
Oh.
Magnesium is required to activate the enzymes that actually metabolize and use vitamin D effectively.
No way. So you need the magnesium to even turn the vitamin D on in your body. It's like a chemical bottleneck if the assistant magnesium is missing.
The other key players can't even get into the room to do their job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. Any others?
Yeah. Same thing goes for vitamin B1, thiamine, which helps manage stress and gets depleted by high carb intake. B1 needs magnesium to be effective in stabilizing the nervous system.
Okay, codependency. Got it. And finally, secret number 3. This involves high-speed machinery inside us.
It does. This one's cool. Magnesium is absolutely vital for energy production, like fundamental.
How so?
Deep inside your cells, you have mitochondria, the little power plants, right?
Right, the powerhouses of the cell. Learned that in biology.
Well, they generate ATP. That's our body's energy currency, and the way they do it involves these tiny, amazing rotary cellular motors. Magnesium literally powers that motor.
There are actual spinning motors inside my cells.
Yeah, like tiny biological engines. And they spin incredibly fast, like 200 to 400 times per second to generate energy.
That is unbelievable. 200 to 400 revolutions a second.
And they need magnesium as the fuel to spin. Without enough magnesium, those motors slow down or stall out.
Okay, so magnesium doesn't just help indirectly by lowering cortisol and improving sleep.
No, it directly increases energy production at the most fundamental level.
Yeah.
Which means that unexplained chronic fatigue a lot of people suffer from. It could very well be a simple, overlooked consequence of the fuel running out in your tiny, high-speed cellular motors.
Mine.
Blown.
Okay, so if we accept this deficiency is super widespread, and we know we're definitely not eating 5 cups of almond.
Definitely not.
We have to talk about supplements. The market is just saturated. What do we look for? And maybe more importantly, what do we actively avoid?
Right. You absolutely must avoid the trap of convenience and cost here. Because the top-selling products, the cheapest ones you see everywhere, like magnesium oxide, they are pretty much the worst choice. Even though they're cheap, they function almost entirely as a laxative. You only actually absorb about 3%, maybe 4% of the elemental magnesium in them.
3 or 4%, that's it. So you're basically just paying for a guaranteed trip to the restroom.
That's pretty much it. You're not getting much magnesium into your cells where you need it.
Okay, so oxide is out. What's the effective choice then? The one that actually works?
The recommendation is usually magnesium glycinate or bisglycinate, same thing.
Glycinate, why that one?
Because it's chelated. That means the magnesium is attached to an amino acid, in this case glycine, and that attachment dramatically increases absorption. We're talking upwards of 80% absorption.
80% versus 3%? That's a huge difference.
Massive, and it bypasses that harsh laxative effect for most people. Plus, as a bonus, the glycine component itself is known to be calming for the nervous system and specifically aids deep sleep. So you get 2 benefits.
Okay, magnesium glycinate. Sounds like a winner. But let's talk about dosing. This is where things seem to get a bit dramatic in the sources. While 400 milligram might be maintenance,
Right.
the suggestion for correcting severe long-term deficiencies is much, much higher, like 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams a day. Isn't that kind of an alarmingly high dose. What are the immediate risks someone needs to know about if they even think about trying that?
That's a really crucial question. And yes, we are talking about therapeutic dosing there, not just daily maintenance.
Yeah.
1,000 to 1,500 milligrams is high.
Okay.
But it's sometimes necessary to actually replenish those deep cellular stores that the body has been robbing for potentially decades.
So it's about refilling the tank, not just topping it off.
Exactly. Now, the main risk, even with a well-absorbed form like glycinate, is still potentially digestive upset or diarrhea if you take too much too soon.
Ah, okay. So even the good stuff can cause problems if you overdo it.
Absolutely. The absolute key is titration. You must start low, maybe just 200 or 400 milligrams a day, and increase the dose very gradually, like over weeks or even months. And if you hit diarrhea, you back off to the previous dose that you tolerated fine.
So it's a slow climb, not an overnight sprint to 1,500 milligrams. You have to listen to your body.
Precisely. Patience is key.
And who typically needs those kinds of massive therapeutic doses for that long period? Is it everyone who's a bit low?
No, not necessarily. It was
Yep.
mainly indicated for those with serious chronic conditions where magnesium depletion is a known major factor. Think severe, chronic migraines, fibromyalgia, persistent mood disorders like anxiety or depression,
Okay.
and critically, anyone with diabetes or insulin resistance or just consistently high blood sugar.
Why specifically high blood sugar?
Because high blood sugar itself creates this enormous demand for magnesium. Magnesium is essential for basically every single step of glucose metabolism and for insulin to actually work properly at the cell receptor. So if your body is constantly trying to process excess sugar,
It's constantly burning through its magnesium stores, just trying to keep up.
exactly. It's constantly sucking magnesium out of those cellular reserves. So people with blood sugar issues often need much higher intakes just to break even, let alone replete their stores.
And this takes months, you said, not like a week of high doses.
Oh, absolutely. The sources are
Yeah.
clear. It takes several months, maybe 3 to 6 months, sometimes longer, of consistent high-level supplementation to truly reverse that kind of long-term systemic depletion.
Okay. Good to know. Any other weird magnesium facts before we wrap up?
One final fun fact, magnesium is also incredible at preventing kidney stones,
Hmm.
especially the most common type, calcium oxalate stones.
Really?
It binds to oxalates in the gut and urine much more strongly than calcium does, like 100 times more binding force. So it basically stops the calcium and oxalate from hooking up and forming those painful stones.
Wow. 100 times stronger. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We started with a twitchy eyelid, and we somehow ended up talking about high-speed cellular motors spinning hundreds of times a second, secret plumbing conspiracies involving water softeners. This has been a genuine deep dive into the microscopic importance of magnesium.
It really has. And the fact that one, simple mineral is this quiet force controlling our heart rhythm, our energy levels, our muscle movement, even how well our vitamin D works.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows how delicate and interconnected our internal chemistry truly is.
Yeah. And how our bodies are such masters of compensation, right? Hiding the problem by robbing Peter to pay Paul until they just run out of things to steal.
Exactly. Until the reserves are empty.
It definitely leaves you with something to think about. If we're willing to literally soften our water, strip away natural nutrients, just for the sake of our dishwashers and laundry, what subtle bodily signals are we maybe ignoring every day, out of convenience, or maybe just because a basic test gave us that false reassurance?
Mm-hmm. Good question.
So next time you feel that muscle twitch, or your heart does a weird little flutter, or you get hit with one of those insistent sugar cravings, maybe ask yourself, is my body quietly screaming for its overworked, underpaid assistant?